who believe only, they grab only onto one concept of family structure, and they think that everybody else that don't follow some prescriptive family structure is garbage.
Yes, you're right about that. That's not true. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
People always say, how does childhood trauma show up in our romantic relationships? And what are the first steps to breaking toxic patterns?
Okay, well, first of all, if you grew up traumatized as a child, your outlook on the world is that I live in a world that's dangerous. So when you start to feel like you live in a dangerous world, you need to start looking at some of scary instances that happened to you that made you form these perspectives. So if you feel like the world is not to be trusted, if you feel like there's nothing but betrayal and that everybody is out to get you because you never really had a calm, peaceful, wonderful childhood like this, where you've been able to see the world in its totality, but if not, it's distorted. It gives you cognitive distortions. And if you haven't had a chance to process it, because let's just face it, there's no such thing as a perfect childhood. You need to have a space to process all of these imperfections that happen to you. And when you can process it, that's when you can start seeing the world in its whole totality and be able to learn how to trust, because you have to be vulnerable. You can't get into a relationship with somebody if you're not willing to be vulnerable. How's that person supposed to know you? How are you supposed to get to know yourself? How are you supposed to get know another person when you have all of these trust issues because you have this belief that the world is dangerous?
Wow. Wow. And speaking of this, first of all, let's give you some more hand claps because you're preaching. Dr. Alicia, a round of applause.
Dancing.
Yes, I really agree with you so just greatly because if you do grow up in an unsafe environment, you do feel like the world is a bad place and you always got to look over your shoulders. And if you have that personality and you are bringing that into your relationships, whether you know it or not, you're bringing that into the interaction. You're bringing that. If you don't feel like you can trust anyone, then you probably aren't easily being vulnerable. You're probably withholding. And that's a good point, that in order for a person to get to know you, there has to be some level of vulnerability there. I got another question for you. In the age of social media and instant gratification, what's the best way to build a truly deep and lasting connection?
Truly deep and lasting connection in the age of social media, you have to be deliberate. You have to really be deliberate in your interactions with people because social media is supposed to make us have more free time because we're able to do things a lot faster. We're able to report things faster, but that's not what's happening, right? So you need to be more deliberate in your interactions with people, the amount of time that you have to really socialize and connect with individuals on a personal level. You got to be able to do that. And you have to be able to put the phones down. You have to be able to look somebody in the face, and you have to be able to have an interaction with that person.